I'm Sissel Jore. I'm a professor at the University of Stavanger in Norway, and I've been researching terrorism and counterterrorism and security for quite a while now. I think I started in 2006. Radicalization is a very difficult concept. It is a concept that mainly describes a political view that is different from the majority of people. But we tend to use it as an unacceptable political view, or a political view that the mainstream are not considering as a legitimate view in a way. So we have to keep that in mind when we talk about the drivers behind radicalization. I think there are definitely different drivers, political drivers, and also social factors that contribute to that people become radicalized. It could be something that is considered political unfair, and it could also be social drivers like lack of education, lack of employment, and so on. So this is quite complicated. And also, I would like to add that being radicalized in Norway is not the same as being radicalized in Spain or Colombia or other countries. Societies are different, and people become radicalized of different purposes, depending on what kind of society you live in. So I would say that everything that leads to some kind of, political unrest, I would say the drivers would definitely be if you live in society where that is unfair, lack of justice, poverty, all these factors that we consider negative somehow can influence, but not necessarily, but can influence whether young people become radicalized or not. Since we are still in the middle of the crisis, there are not so much research to build on, given that what has actually happened yet. If you also add all these factors that COVID-19 also has with it, such as people becoming unemployed, isolation, young people sitting in echo chambers on social media, political unrest in many countries. In many countries, we see that there are, because of all these strict measures, there are distrust in authorities and so on. And all these are factors that would influence radicalization. There are also reported that there are terrorist propaganda that use this crisis as an opportunity to reach young people online. Norway and Scandinavia is historically a very peaceful place on earth, where we don't have a history of terrorism like many other European countries and other countries in the world. I would definitely say that the Norwegian approach to how to counter terrorism radicalization has changed drastically over the year. And this approach builds on the idea that we should counter terrorism on a local level, where people who are in the risk of becoming radicalized can get help from teachers and social workers. However, I would say that the problem with this approach in Norway is that it's not being debated enough, because this is an approach that is an approach to try to counter radicalization within the framework of human rights in a democratic society. And because we have this counter-radicalization model that builds on the social welfare state and democracy, there tend to be a little skepticism against it. There also is this common notion in Norway that it is local level that should deal with this concept.